Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. We got a nice little Sunday afternoon matchup today between the San Francisco 49ers and the home Houston Texans. On one sideline, we've got Kyle Shanahan. He did not have a great game last week, but it was still enough to take home a win against the Falcons. And you also have DeMeco Ryans, who used to be the defensive coordinator for the for the 49ers, as the Texans head coach. We have a nice little game here between two very good teams, and let's see how it goes. I'm your host, AJ. And we are underway in Houston. Going to be taken from around the 5-yard line and brought out to about the 25. And that is where CJ Stroud is going to get started. A very interesting prospect, came in as a freshman, just a little rookie, and brought his team all the way to the divisional round. And then in his sophomore season, did kind of the same, except slightly less impressive. So let's see what he can do in his junior season. Now Stroud back lined up to his left, motioning out a tight end. He's going to pass down, and that is going to be caught for a very small gain by Dalton Schultz. As we get a quick look at the 49ers injuries, and they have a lot of them. A few of the notable ones that you saw were Nick Bosa, Christian McCaffrey, and the backup running back, Brian Robinson Jr. So the Niners are having a classic Niners season of everybody being injured, and it kind of shows there as CJ Stroud was able to rush for a nice first down. Nice 12-yard run by the quarterback there. Stroud now under center, man in the backfield, motioning over the tight end to the left. I'm going to hand it off, and that is going to be tackled after a very small gain by multiple men, including Bryce Huffman. 2nd and 9 now. Stroud back lined up to his left, going to look to pass. Fire over the middle, and that one is going to be caught by Jaden Higgins for a nice little first down over the middle. Tackled by Upton Stout and Fred Warner. Fred Warner was in the vicinity. He did not, in fact, make the tackle, actually. 1st and 10 now. Stroud under center, 2 men in the backfield, motioning a tight end right. Going to look to hand it off. And that is going to be Fred Warner getting the tackle for a small gain. As we take a look at the stats of Joe Mixon from last week. Averaged a little less than 3.5 yards per carry, but he did get a touchdown on the board. So overall, a successful game. Stroud now looking to pass on 2nd and 9. Going to be hit as he throws, and it is going to drop dead. As that was Michael Williams, the rookie. 3rd and 9 now. Stroud back lined up to his right, looking to pass, firing over the middle, and that looks like it was caught by Nick Chubb, but he was immediately tackled by Grant. DeMeco Ryans is going to decide to go for this 4th down here, 4th and 4 early in the game. CJ Stroud looking to pass, and he is going to be sacked. That is Bryce Huff with a turnover on downs. Just shed his block right on the right side there. I believe it was the right guard, just wasn't able to block it. And now Brock Purdy is going to come out and see what he can do to start off this game. The Niners offense, without its key component of Christian McCaffrey, and it looks like Brandon Ayuk is also absent. So you see a nice little 2-yard run by Isaac Guerrero there. He averaged a little more than 4 yards per carry, which is solid, but was not able to get a touchdown on the board. Purdy now under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to motion a man to the right side. Hand it off to Isaac Arendo once again, who is going to be stopped after no gain. To'o got the tackle there, and it is now 3rd and 8. Purdy with a man lined up to his right. Going to look to pass here. Firing deep down the sideline, and it is going to be broken up. Intended for George Kittle, but was not able to get his hands on it. And that is going to be a quick little 3 and out for the 49ers. Morstead, the punter, going to look to fire it away. Looks like it's going to bounce out at about the 11. And C.J. Stroud is now going to get a chance for round 2 after that turnover on downs that occurred just about a minute ago. Stroud now, 2 men in the backfield on his flanks. Going to fake the handoff to both and try to QB sneak, and he is just going to take the dive there after a gain of about 2 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 13-yard line.
2nd and 8 now. Stroud with a back line up to his left. Going to look to pass. Going to be cut over the middle. I believe that was Christian. Was Tank Dell on the reception. And now it is 3rd and 4. Stroud looking to pass deep over the middle. Intended for Schultz, but that is going to be broken up by Renardo Green. And that is going to be yet another 3 and out. Tommy Thompson going to look to punt this one away for the first time. It's going to be fielded at about the 32-yard line and going to be brought out to the 37. As Purdy is going to get yet another chance. Starting a game with a 3 and out never feels good. Let's see what he can do to make up for it. Under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to fake the handoff to both. Quick pass over the middle and almost intercepted there. And that is going to be 2nd and 10. Purdy back lined up to his left, looking to pass now. It's going to be caught over the middle. And that is Jacob Cowie with a nice game and a 1st down for the 49ers. Out to the right side, he was just nice open, and every single other person came immediately to get on top of him. First and 10 now. Purdy under center with the back lined up in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Isaac Arendo, who's going to get about 2 yards on that play. And that is going to bring up 2nd and 8. Purdy now under center, multiple men in the backfield. Going to hand it off again to Isaac Arendo, and he is going to get pretty much nothing there. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 now. Purdy alone in the backfield now. Looking to pass, firing deep down the sideline, and that is going to be broken up. Looks like that was intended for Brandon Ayuk. And the punter is once again going to come out. Punt is away. And it is going to bounce. Going to take a few very lucky bounces for the Texans and come out to about the 15. Stroud is going to get yet another chance to do something here, as the score is still 0-0. Stroud now under center, man in the backfield. And he is going to be wrapped up immediately as Michael Williams came off the sideline and just stopped him for no gain.
No gain on the play.
Stroud now looking to pass. Going to pass out. And that is going to be Mixon on the sideline, who gets a gain of about 2 on the catch. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 8. And it looks like we have a false start on the offensive line. Unfortunate little mistake there that is going to back them up even further and have them try a 3rd and 13 now. Stroud's looking to pass. Going to choose to scramble. A lot of room to do so. And he is almost going to break all those tackles, but it is going to be plenty enough for a first down. 18-yard rush there. He just saw no one was open and decided to take it with his legs, and Fred Warner just wasn't able to get there close enough. Jair Brown on the tackle, but unfortunately, this 49ers defense giving up 2 huge runs to Stroud so far and very little to anybody else. 2nd and 8 now. Stroud under center, 2 men in the backfield. Gonna motion the tight end over. Gonna fake the handoff, and it's going to be intercepted to the side. It's gonna be holding on the offense, but I don't think it's gonna matter because they can just decline this penalty. Nice little wrap up there. And now Brock Purdy's going to get a chance to start from within field goal range. He's going to fire over the middle. He's going to be caught by Brandon Ayuk, and he's going to get all the way down to the 9. That is going to be an easy first down. 22-yard gain there. And now we have the first and goal of the game. Purdy under center with multiple men in the backfield. Going to choose to hand it off to Garendo, who is going to get very close, but it is not going to be enough. Purdy now from the 1-yard line, going to hand it off once again to Garendo, and he is going to be stopped for a small loss by Hunter. 3rd and goal now. Purdy under center, 1 man in the backfield, and he's just going to let this clock wind down as the first quarter comes to a close with no score on the board, but 1 score looking very close to happening. Not much has gone on so far this game, but it looks like it's about to get interesting with the Niners on the 2-yard line for 3rd and goal now. Purdy under center, 2 men in the backfield. Gonna fake the handoff to both, pass to the sideline, and it is going to be caught. Kyle Juszczyk for the touchdown. Everybody appreciates a nice little fullback touchdown, and I am no different as this game starts in the Niners' favor as just a nice little pass up to the sideline. Juszczyk was able to get the separation. And now Carlson is out for the extra point. Kick is up, it is good, and Carlson is showing why the 49ers dropped Jake Moody earlier in the season. A nice little 7-point lead to start this game, and now the Texans have a chance to respond. Fielded at about the 5-yard line, and he's going to get a nice return out to about the 45. Incredible return there. A lot of nice blocking, and CJ Stroud is going to get a chance to start with very favorable field position. Stroud now with the back lined up to his left for 1st and 10. Looking to pass, firing over the middle, and it's going to be immediately intercepted by Fred Warner. Another interception immediately after that first one. Fred Warner just sat there, and it was almost like CJ Stroud was throwing to him. Just passed over the middle. Stroud was not, it looked like it was intended for number 81, but that ball could have not been any more perfectly placed. And Brock Purdy is going to get yet another chance to score now immediately after putting up a touchdown. Purdy under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Isaac Garendo, who's going to get out to the side, and that is going to be a nice little gain of about 11 yards. And that is going to be an easy first down for the 49ers.
49er first down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
First and 10 now. Purdy's going to hand it off once again. But that time it is going to have a far less optimal result, with that being stopped for no gain. Guerrero a little bit slow to get up, but he looks to be fine. Second and 10 now. Purdy with the back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass. Firing over the middle, and that's going to be caught by Jawan Jennings down to the 13-yard line. Another explosive play, that one for 19 yards. And now yet another first and 10 from the 49ers. Purdy under center, man in the backfield. Gonna fake the handoff to Ayuk. Hand it off to the backup running back who's going to get... That's Jordan James, the rookie, who got a phenomenal hurdle there. That was very entertaining to watch. And now we have first and goal yet again for the 49ers. Purdy under center, 2 men in the backfield, one of which being the wideout, Jawan Jennings. He's going to hand it off to neither, and he is just going to throw it out over the back of the end zone. Purdy now alone in the backfield. Shift on the defensive line from the Texans. Purdy scrambling, and he is just going to throw that one away as well. Multiple defensive ends in range, and he just decided to throw it away and not risk anything. The handoff, the fake handoff there, immediately blown up by Will Anderson Jr. there. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. He didn't even get a chance to fake the second handoff. He just immediately stepped in front, and D'Amico Ryans is very happy about that. Carlson is going to come out for the first field goal attempt of the game. It's essentially a point after attempt, so he has no trouble making that as the 49ers extend the lead to 10-0. D'Amico Ryans is certainly not pleased with the score. He's happy they didn't allow a touchdown. But C.J. Stroud and the Texans are going to need to get something going here, starting at the 22-yard line. So we take a look at the amount of penalties. Once again, the Texans have averaged about 35 yards, a relatively good amount. But penalties don't matter if you don't get any scores to begin with, and now C.J. Stroud is going to have to make something happen. And that is not how you start a drive, by making something happen. Yetur Gross-Matos with a 3-yard TFL there by just trapping Joe Mixon immediately, and that is already going to bring up second and long. Stroud now with the back lined up to his right, going to look to pass over the middle, and that one is going to be caught by Christian Kirk.
Complete to number 13, Christian Kirk.
3rd and 1 now. Stroud under center, man in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Nick Chubb, and he is going to get enough for the first down. Nice little short gain, but it was enough for the first down. Stroud now on 1st and 10 under center. Joe Mixon in the backfield. Clock ticking past 10 minutes left in the half. Going to fake the handoff to Mixon and pass over the middle. And that one is also going to be caught. And that is Tank Dell on the reception. A gain of about 15 yards. And that is going to bring up yet another first down for the Texans. After a lot of stalled momentum from the Texans, 2 explosive plays probably feel really good. As we get to 1st and 10 again. Stroud under center, going to fake the handoff to the wide receiver, hand it off to Joe Mixon, and he is going to get about 3 yards on that one. Yetur Gross-Matos, or no, sorry.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 now. Stroud in the backfield with the back lined up to his right. Going to look to pass, and that is going to be dropped, intended for Christian Kirk, but it bounced off his hands and fell dead.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Stroud now looking to pass on 3rd down, And that one is going to be batted away by Bernardo Green. Not able to complete that one. And that is going to bring up 4th and 7. Texans punter out now to get rid of this one. It's going to bounce into the end zone and is going to be a touchback for the Niners starting at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the 49ers. Purdy under center, man in the backfield. Going to motion over Brandon Ayuk and actually hand it off to him, and he is going to lose the ball, and that is going to be picked up, and that is going to be the first touchdown for the Texans. Derek Stingley Jr. just immediately stepped on that one, and that is going to put the Texans back in this game. Brandon Ayuk was just absolutely laid out by Will Anderson, and then Derek Stingley immediately picked it up and ran it in. That's why you don't hand off to wideouts, ladies and gentlemen, as the Texans are now very much back in this game after that turnover. Point after attempt is up and good, and now the score is 10-7. Nice play there by Derek Stingley Jr. as the Texans are now very much back in this game. First kickoff now for the Texans, going to be fielded by the Niners at about the 5-yard line, and it is going to be brought up, and it is going to be fumbled again. Smith fumbled that one, and that is about the quickest shift in momentum I have ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. And now the Texans have the ball starting at their own 26. We are not even done with the first half, and there have already been 4 total turnovers. That pass there by C.J. Stroud intended for Elton Strauss. And that is going to be Grant on the coverage. C.J. Stroud going to hand that one off. It's going to be taken down to about the 10-yard line. Nick Chubb with a very large gain there. And that is going to be a Texans first down. 1st and goal now. C.J. Stroud's going to hand it off again, this time to Joe Mixon, who's going to get out to the side and be tackled after a gain of about 4 yards. 2nd and goal now. Stroud under center. One man in the backfield motioning over the tight end. Going to fake the handoff. Stroud is now going to look to pass. Firing to the end zone. And wouldn't you know it, ladies and gentlemen, you know what, that's Josie Jewell, I believe acquired in a trade just a couple weeks ago. You know what, I don't think we've had enough turnovers in this first half, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a 5th on the board. C.J. Stroud's 3rd interception of the game so far. And Brock Purdy is going to get yet another start from his own 20-yard line. Purdy now, men on either side of him, 1st and 10. Going to motion out one of the running backs. It's going to attempt to throw that, and it is going to fall dead. It looks like it was intended for Jordan James, but no one in the area seemed to know the ball was coming to them, so it just fell dead. 2nd and 10 now. Purdy with a back line up to his right. Going to look to pass over the middle. Caught by Isaac Guerrero. And he's going to break a tackle and get out to about the 37. A nice little 17-yard gain there. And that is going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Niners. Purdy now under center. And that is going to be Isaac Guerrero on the 1-yard rush. 2nd and 9 now. Purdy with the back line up to his right, going to call an audible and shift essentially the entire position. Purdy looking to pass now. Firing. It's going to be caught by Jawan Jennings out to the sideline. And that is going to be A huge gain for the 49ers.
A gain of 41 yards.
41 yards on that catch.
49er first down.
And then that rush is going to go absolutely nowhere. Tackled for no gain. Jordan James was unable to get anything there, as we now have second and 10 from the Texans 22.
At the 22-yard line.
Gonna pitch it to Jacob Cowing. And that one is going to be a nice little gain of about 9 yards.
13-yard line. A gain of 9.
Into the red zone now. Purdy is going to just take a dive for a first down. And that is going to bring up first and 10 from the Texans 11 as we are going to go to the 2-minute warning. Score now 10-7 with the Niners very close to putting yet another score on the board. First and 10. Purdy looking to throw. Got time in the pocket. And let's just put another turnover on the board. Intercepted over the middle by Nick Neiman, as this is one of the sloppiest first halves I have seen in a while. 2 end zone interceptions, one by each quarterback. That one at least took effort, intended for Jawan Jennings. But that is just another turnover on top of 5 already this half. CJ Stroud now starting from his own 10-yard line. 2 minutes on the clock. Gonna see what he can do. Back lined up to his left. Ball is snapped. Looking to pass. Firing out to the sideline. And Tank Dell is going to catch that one for a small loss.
He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Second and 11 now. Stroud looking to throw again. It's going to be caught by, I believe, Schultz.
Complete to Dalton Schultz.
Yes, Dalton Schultz on that one. 3rd and 2 now. Stroud with the back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass again. That one's going to be caught, but there's going to be a flag on the play, and it looks like it's going to be holding on the offense. Trent Brown on that one. It is going to back them up and give them 3rd and 11 now. Stroud now going to hand it off, and Joe Mixon is unfortunately going to lose yardage there, as that is going to bring up 4th and 12.
It's 4th down. Tommy Townsend in punt formation.
Townsend
for the
now
Texans.
to punt it away. Punt is up. Looks like it's going to be fielded at about the 41-yard line, and it is going to be brought down to about the 46. Brock Purdy going to get yet another chance after that interception just a few minutes ago, and that is going to bring up 1st and 10 from the Texans 46. Looking to pass now. Purdy over the middle. It's going to be caught by Jawan Jennings for a gain of about 5 yards. Hurry up offense now. The Niners are going to choose not to call a timeout. Purdy looking to just throw a quick pass there. That one's going to be caught by Jacob Cowing for a nice gain of a few yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 now.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Purdy on in the backfield looking to pass again. Scrambling. Going to be caught by Isaac Garendo, and he is going to gain no yardage there. Clock ticking down now, and Shanahan looks like he's going to let it until he is going to try to kick the field goal now. Clock winding down. Final play of the half. Kick is up. It is good, and that is going to be the first half. Score 13-7. Although, if you have watched the first half and aren't just looking at the box score, it has been a wild turn of events so far. 6 total turnovers by 3 by each team, as Stroud has 3 interceptions on the day. Let's hope for a second half that doesn't have a turnover every other play. Ball is away, and it is going to go into the back of the end zone. And Brock Purdy now is going to get his first chance with the ball after the half. Both teams definitely have a lot to work on in terms of playing the game nicely after 3 turnovers each. And let's see what Brock Purdy starts us off with. I mean, it's not a turnover, ladies and gentlemen. Will Anderson just blew up that handoff to Jawan Jennings for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12 now. Purdy with a back line up to his left. Going to look to hand it off to Garendo here. And he is going to get a lot of yards. That looked like a gain of about 10. Undoing that loss and then a lot more as well. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 2. Purdy going to pitch it to Jordan James there, and he is going to get enough for the first down. Nice little run for the rookie there, about 3 yards. And now we have a first down for the Niners. 1st and 10 now. Purdy under center with multiple men in the backfield. Going to motion George Kittle out to the side. Purdy's going to look to pass. Firing deep down the sideline. And that is going to be caught by Brandon Ayuk, but it is going to be out of bounds. Purdy now, back lined up to his right. Going to motion over Jawan Jennings. Purdy now looking to pass. And it's going to be caught by George Kittle. I believe one of his first catches of the afternoon. And there's going to be a nice little 3-yard gain. 3rd and 7 now. Purdy going to motion Kyle Juszczyk out to the sideline. Now alone in the backfield. Going to look to pass. Firing over the middle. And that is going to be caught by Brandon Ayuk for a nice gain of about 10 to 12 yards. And that is going to bring you up yet another first down for the 49ers. Just caught him over the middle, and he was able to beat out Todoto for a nice gain with a good few yards after completion as well. Purdy now under center with a man in the backfield. Gonna hand it off to Jordan James, who is going to trip after a gain of about 2 yards. 2nd and 8 now. Purdy under center with a man in the backfield. And that is going to be a false start for the 49ers.
False start, offense.
Number 77 there. When you don't have an absolute integral part of that line, Trent Williams, a lot of the men can just make crucial mistakes, and that was one of them. 2nd and 13 now. Purdy looking to pass. It's going to be caught over the middle.
Purdy's pass complete to Jordan Watkins.
Jordan Watkins on the reception with a nice little 11-yard gain. And now he's going to just pass it over the middle to Kyle Juszczyk, who's going to get a nice gain there into the red zone. 11 yards on that nice little catch. And there's going to be yet another penalty now. Yet another false start on this offensive line. I think I'm proving my point about what I said with linemen getting nervous when they lose a key part of their line. But good few yards gained back there by Isaac Garendo on the rush. Nice little 3-yard gain there, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 12. Purdy now alone in the backfield, looking to pass. That's going to be caught by Jawan Jennings, and he's going to get about half the distance needed for the first down. And that is going to bring up 3rd and 6. Purdy now back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass. It's going to be caught by Darnell Washington for a nice gain of about 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 1st and goal. Purdy now on the pitch to Isaac Garendo, and that is going to go absolutely nowhere. Tackled for a loss of about 5 yards there. Ward on that tackle, and then it's going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 12-yard line. Purdy now alone in the backfield. Going to motion Kyle Juszczyk over. Looking to pass. It's going to be caught by Jacob Cowing, and he's going to get about 2 yards on that catch.
A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now
Third and goal now. Purdy looking to pass. Firing. Into the end zone. Bounces off the hands of both Ayuk and I believe that was Cowing. But neither were able to catch it, and that is going to bring up 4th and goal.
a 27-yard attempt.
Field goal is up. It is good. And that is going to be
Niners 16.
the second field goal on the day for the Niners. The score is now 16-7. Morstead's going to kick that one off for us. Fielded at about the 5-yard line. It's going to be brought out to about the 26. Taking a look at the turnovers for the Texans, they have been almost perfect most of the season, and today has been very unlike them. But sometimes you just have bad days, and I think C.J. Stroud is having one of those. Joe Mixon's going to get tackled for a 1-yard loss there. Michael Williams on that one, and that is going to bring up 2nd and 11. Stroud now back lined up to his left. Going to hand it off there, and Joe Mixon is going to get a lot of yards before being laid out after a gain of 6. 3rd and 5 now. Stroud with a back lined up to his right. Seems very afraid to throw the ball, which, I mean, makes sense after he has thrown 3 interceptions on the day. Going to attempt to here, though, and it is going to work out pretty well for him. Jaden Higgins there with a nice game. Just a nice pass over the middle. Just got a little bit of separation from Fred Warner, and when you get separation from a linebacker of that caliber, you just kind of have to take any possible catches you can get. Stroud now going to hand it off to Nick Chubb, who's going to get a pretty good gain there of about 7 yards. Into 49ers territory now, 2nd and 3. Stroud under center, 2 men in the backfield. Going to motion a tight end to the right side. And going to hand it off once again to Nick Chubb. And that one is going to get him enough for a 1st down. Nice little 3-yard gain there, and the Texans have a fresh set of downs now. 1st and 10. Stroud's going to hand it off again. And that one is going to be stopped. Pierce tackled by Fred Warner there, and that is going to be no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now. Stroud with a back line up to his right. Motioning a receiver over. Handing it off to Joe Mixon once again, and he's going to get about 7 yards there, and that is going to bring up 3rd and 3 now. Stroud now alone in the backfield. Going to call an audible to shift the position. Running back now join him to his right. Stroud's going to look to pass out to the sideline, and that is going to be tackled for a pretty large gain by Grant. Loss of 3 yards there. Caught, but just wasn't able to avoid the tackle there, and that is going to bring up 4th and 6. Texans going to punt this one away right before time expires. It's going to bounce into the end zone, and we are going to be back for the 4th quarter with 1st and 10 for the 49ers. Just a quick look at some of the plays from earlier this game. Cowing and Smith have been pretty good parts of this 49ers offense, and let's see if they will continue to be into the final quarter. 1st and 10 now. Purdy with the back line up to his left. And that is going to be tackled for a small loss. Isaac Garenda was just able to get nothing there. 2nd and 11 now. Purdy with a back lined up to his left. Gonna pitch it to Juwan Jennings there, who's gonna be tackled for a loss with a penalty, and that's gonna be a legal block in the back on Brandon Ayuk. And that is gonna bring up 2nd and 20 now. Purdy back lined up to his left. Gonna motion Brandon Ayuk over to the right side. Gonna hand it off to Isaac Garendo, and he is once again going to get absolutely nothing there, as we are now about to have 3rd and very, very long. 3rd and 20 now. Purdy alone in the backfield. Motioning it over the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. Purdy's going to look to pass, and he is going to be forced to just essentially spike it with pressure coming. He's just going to choose to spike it instead of getting sacked for a safety. Thomas Morstead punting from his own end zone, just going to absolutely let one rip. Going to be taken from about the 38 and get out to the 44-yard line. CJ Stroud now needs to make something happen with them being down a little more than a full score. Stroud now back lined up to his left. Going to hand it off to Joe Mixon, who is going to be tackled very quickly for a loss of 1. Taking a look at the rushing yards allowed by this 49ers offense, they usually let up quite a bit, but today they have been doing a very good job of stopping the run. Stroud now with the back lined up to his left, going to look to pass here. He's going to be caught over the middle by Christian Kirk for a nice gain of about 10 yards, and then it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Stroud now going to hand it off to Nick Chubb, who is going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be a large stop. And now the Texans are stuck here with 4th and 3 while being 2 scores down. They're going to choose to go for it here. This is going to be a very key play of the game. Stroud now, man lined up behind him, motioning out to the left. Stroud is going to look to pass. He's going to be caught to the left side by Christian Kirk. Very key 4th down there, and they were able to get it. Fresh set of downs now, 1st and 10. CJ Stroud going to motion the tight end to the right side. Hand it off to Joe Mixon, who's going to be stopped once again for a loss. Nick Martin on that tackle. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the Niners' 42-yard line.
Stroud now back lined up to his right. Looking to pass now. Going to be caught by Nick Chubb, who's going to get a gain of about 4 yards there. As we take a look at the passing yards let up by the Niners, they have been very poor in that category, and today, despite getting 3 interceptions, they have still allowed 160 passing yards, which I think is a testament to that fact. Stroud now looking to pass, going to be caught over the middle by Tank Dell, who's going to get enough for a 1st down, and that is going to be down to the 49ers 26. I think you just see another example of that poor pass defense, unfortunately, as he gets that catch wide open over the middle. 1st and 10 now, Stroud under center, 2 men in the backfield. One of them is going to motion to the line. Tight end's going to motion left. Stroud's going to fake the handoff and pass over the middle, and that ball is going to be incomplete. Jaden Higgins got his hands on it, but then had the ball knocked out of him almost like it was the wind. Stroud now back lined up to his right, going to look to pass, and that one is going to be caught for a gain of about 1. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 now. Stroud now with a back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass here. It's going to be almost cut over to the right side. And that looked like Stover who attempted to catch that one, but he was stopped in his tracks as the Texans are now going to attempt to take a field goal. Kaimi Fairbairn for the first field goal of the game, and it is going to fall no good. Almost blocked there, but I think the pressure was enough to cause it to fly right, and D'Amico Ryans is very unhappy with that. You go for fourth down, actually get it. The offense gets stopped, you send out your kicker, and your kicker is unable to convert that. First and 10 now, Purdy under center, man in the backfield, going to fake the handoff. Going out to the left side, going to be caught by Jawan Jennings there, who's going to get yet another large gain down to the Texans 42. 26 yards on that catch, very good stuff. Purdy now, looking to pass again. Going to fire it to George Kittle, who's going to get out to the sideline, truck Steenway Jr., and get all the way down to the 15-yard line. Purdy now under center, man in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Isaac Garendo, who's going to get 6 yards there. Niners offense has not been that good this season, but today they've been playing pretty well. 320 offensive yards so far this game. Purdy now under center, man in the backfield again. Gonna fake the handoff to Garendo. Fire over the middle. And of course it really wouldn't be this game if we didn't have yet another turnover. Jimmy Ward on that one. And the Texans are not going quickly into that loss. Yet another defensive play. And now it's time to see if the offense can do anything about it. That looked to be intended for Washington. But now C.J. Stroud is going to get a chance to make a play. Preferably for the Texans. Stroud now, back lined up to his right. Going to look to pass here. Fire a quick one over the middle, which is going to bounce off the defender and fall down. Second and 10 now. Stroud with the back lined up to his right calls an audible. Going to motion over the tight end. Pass over the middle, and that one is going to be caught for a first down. Dalton Schultz on that one got enough for the first down. Stroud now looking to throw once again. That one is going to be caught over the middle by Christian Kirk. Second and 2 now. Stroud with the back line up to his right. Going to look to throw. Going to be caught out to the side by Joe Mixon, who's going to cut in and get about 5 yards there. Stroud now back lined up to his right. Going to motion a tight end to the left side. Motion him back over. Stroud's going to look to pass out to the sideline. Joe Mixon is going to get about a yard there, but that's very crucially going to stop the clock. Stroud once again back lined up to his left. Looking to pass here. Firing deep over the middle, and that one is going to be batted down. Stover tried to catch that one, but was unable to. Stroud's calling an audible now. Back lined up to his left. Going to look to pass again. Clean pocket, able to pass it to Nick Chubb, but there is a flag on the play, and he's going to be holding on the offensive line. Jarrett Patterson with a very costly mistake there. That's going to. The 49ers are going to choose to decline that and instead bring up 4th and 5, sorry. As Stroud is going to have to be forced to pass it here, and it is going to be caught. Hit as he threw, but it doesn't matter. Jair Brown on that tackle. But that is a 28-yard gain that is going to put the Texans into the red zone. Stroud now under center, man in the backfield, looking to pass. Going to choose to scramble instead and get yet another first down. CJ Stroud has definitely regained his confidence after a very poor first half, and he has been playing phenomenally this drive. Stroud now back lined up to his left, looking to pass again, and that one is going to be Smith Jr. for the Texans touchdown. Irv Smith there. Nice little tight end pass, and he was just wide open. And now the Texans are not done yet this game. Fairbairn going to go for the extra point here. Kick is up. It is good. He missed the earlier field goal, which would have put them in the lead now, but they are within striking distance now. Miko Ryans clearly happier. They're going to choose to normally kick this one off, not going for the onside kick. You have a phenomenal defense, and they are probably going to try to lean on that to try to stop Brock Purdy and the Niners. As we get a look at his stats for the day, they've been pretty solid. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 238 yards. Nothing to scoff at all, as Purdy is going to get us started with first and 10. And that is going to be Isaac Garenda, immediately taken down by speed. The Niners are going to try to run down this clock as much as possible here. Purdy now under center. Multiple men in the backfield, no one directly lined up though. Going to motion Isaac Garenda to the left side. Purdy's going to look to pass. It's going to be caught over the middle by Brandon Ayuk, as D'Amico Ryans is going to take his first time out. The Texans, in a bit of a shaky position here, really want to get the stop on the 49ers here. Purdy's going to look to pass, fire over the middle, and it is going to be broken up, but there is pass interference on the defense. Very unfortunate for Nick Neiman, who has had multiple good plays this game, I believe an interception, now allowing that penalty that is going to give the 49ers a first down. Purdy now under center, going to hand it off to Isaac Garenda, who is going to gain absolutely nothing, and D'Amico Ryans is going to call his second timeout of the game. 2nd and 10 now, Purdy alone in the backfield. Going to look to pass here. Firing out to the sideline for George Kittle, who is going to get about 3 yards, and then it's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Purdy now back lined up to his left. Looking to pass. Going to be intended for Jacob Cowling, but he's going to fall dead. And the 49ers are probably going to choose to punt it. They are going to punt it. Punt is away. They're going to choose to let it bounce, and it is going to be taken at about the 16. And now CJ Stroud, with a very shaky first half, who's gotten back into his rhythm now, is going to get a chance to finally show off that he is not the 3 interception man we saw in the first half. 2:21 on the clock. All you need is a field goal. Let's see what CJ Stroud can do. Quick pass over the middle, caught by Joe Mixon. And that is going to be a nice gain of about 17 yards. And that is going to bring up first down for the Texans. Nice little throw over the middle. And that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes left in this game, and the Texans still have an opportunity to win it. Stroud now with a back lined up to his left. Motioning a tight end over. Stroud's going to choose to pass again. Going to be hit as he threw. Intended for Joe Mixon there, but was hit while he threw. Stroud now back lined up to his right. Going to motion Christian Kirk over. Going to fire to Christian Kirk, and it is once again going to fall incomplete. Fred Warner was able to break that one up. 3rd and 10 now. This is definitely 4th down territory. So we've got 2 more chances. Stroud with the back one up to his left, going to look to throw here. And that is going to be caught over the middle by Jaden Higgins. Another nice little throw by CJ Stroud. Hurry up offense now for the Texans. Stroud now back on up to his left, looking to throw. Caught over the middle and actually broken up. Tank Dell was able to get his hands slightly on it, but got it broken up by Fred Warner. 2nd and 10 now. Stroud with the back line up to his left, going to look to throw. And that is actually going to be caught. Hit while he threw, but still managed to get that one off to the tight end. And that is going to bring up yet another 1st down for the Texans. CJ Stroud now with the back line up to his left, looking to throw, and hit while he threw, and that ball is going to fall dead. About a minute left now, 2nd and 10. This game's going to come down to the wire. Motioning in. Stroud going to look to pass again. He's just going to fire that one out to the right side. Nice little 5-yard gain. 3rd and 5 now. Stroud with a back line up to his left. Going to hand it off to Nick Chubb, who's going to get very little there. 4th and 4 now. Nice little tackle there. Got through the defensive line. And Kaimi Fairbairn now, with 20 seconds left. Shanahan is going to call his first timeout, attempt to ice the kicker. This is definitely not optimal if you're D'Amico Ryans, or Kaimi Fairbairn for that matter. But it is what they're going to have to take. 55 yards. Does he have it? He does, ladies and gentlemen. Barely. Looked like it was curving out for a sec, but Kaimi Fairbairn was able to make that one barely. 16-17 the score now. The Niners have 2 timeouts left, as this one is just going to go into the end zone. That big climactic drive from CJ Stroud means nothing if the Niners use these 16 seconds and 2 timeouts to make a miracle happen. First pass over the middle to Jacob Cowing. Nice little gain of about 10 yards. Purdy now alone in the backfield. Going to fire yet another ball just quickly over the middle. He's going to choose to play hurry-up offense here and finally call his timeout. 5 seconds left now. 49ers have to definitely take a shot downfield. Deep throw down the field, and it is going to be, there's pass interference, ladies. There's pass interference. The 49ers get a free play. Jalen Pitter. And that is going to be enough for the 49ers to set up a field goal. And it is going to be good. Oh my goodness. The Niners get an insane, absolutely insane road win. And here I thought this game was going to be boring after that first half. D'Amico Ryans and Shanahan shaking hands after an absolutely embarrassing first half. We got an insane second half. Absolutely phenomenal end to the game. And that is going to be it. I'm AJ. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. And that is going to bring us to the end here in Houston. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you